Okay, this video is going to show you how to use the Replit online compiler. For now, you can go to the miscellaneous module at the top of our modules page or home page. Click on Replit online compiler, and you'll have to click on this part right here, and it'll take you to the Java compiler. Alright, there's a couple things you're going to need to know to do this. First of all, this class main, you don't want to change that, and what you might want to do is hit enter before each of these curly braces, these opening curly braces, so they look more like what we're doing. You can put your class or your heading up here like normal, so you can go here. I would press the tab key, and then you would do your name, and then press the tab key. You probably have to do it twice, it looks like. Period 5, etc. Well, chapter, let's say 2C, and the date, and then you're going to have to backspace and do that. Alright, then you hit enter. If you have an import statement, you could go ahead and do that. Import, let's say java.util.scanner. If you don't have one, that's cool. So anyways, then of course you would leave that out, but this would be where you put your heading or your import statements just like normal. The thing that we want to add to this, though, because you don't want to lose class main, you got to keep it for now, and so what you can do is put the line comments and do our normal class header. So public class, what is this one called? Customer order. Alright, so just do that. The compiler will ignore it, but I'll be able to see it when you turn in your assignment. And then, so you've got this. The other thing is, which I should have had you do earlier, is you want to give yourself room here, and like this, something like this. Split this down the screen half and half, and it'll be beneficial later on as you go. Okay, then the next thing is what you'll want to do is you'll want to then it's all set up for you, so now you can just start typing. So let's say that we're doing 2C, for instance. We're going to do string first name, I think is what we have, and then maybe int num of lattes. So you got to type it in, and then let's say you have an assignment. So you go first name is assigned Molly, and then you got to make sure that you do your it's a little bit more difficult sometimes to do your semicolons here. Num of lattes, which you can copy and paste too, makes it faster, is assigned 3. And let's say that you wanted to type a print statement, then you would just type it like normal, and so maybe in here you would have and just to show you what'll happen is, if let's say you start typing, you have to let's say you type system.out.println, and then when you put that parentheses, it'll put both of them in there. And so let's say we go first name plus, and then we go ordered, and then you gotta use your arrow keys. Whoops, that's not gonna work. Let me see, in spacebar, and then ordered num of lattes plus, and then lattes, and then you got to hit your arrow, get past that parenthesis, and then do your semicolon. Alright, so once you do that, then what you have is you are going to click on Run. And so when you click on Run, it's going to compile first. And so if there's any errors, it'll show you the errors, and then you have to fix them, just like we do in JGrasp. In this case, there's no errors, so you can see the output. I wish it had more room in here. I don't know if there's any way to make more room, but it's kind of tight in here. So it says Molly ordered 3 lattes. That's, so that's what you wanted. Let's say that we have an error. Let's say we leave out the parentheses. And another thing you can do is you can clear this. There's a clear button over here, and you can clear this, and then so before you run it again, so it doesn't get all messy in there. And so let's say there's an error, so I took out the quotation marks, and you can see it's just like in JGrasp. So it tells you what line the error is on, line 17. It says the errors can't find symbol, and then it'll give you this little caret that will allow you to, that sometimes points to where the error is. So it's calling Molly a variable because there's no quotation marks, and so you go, uh-oh, that's not supposed to be a variable, that's supposed to be a value, it's supposed to be a string. And so you go back and you can change your, fix that. Ooh, you can see it gives you some hints here when you hover over it. Anyways, and so there you go. And now we can you can clear it if you want, and then you run it again, and then it should run it properly. And then let's say that you've completed your program and you're ready to turn it in. So what you do is what you need to do is you need to click on Share, and then go down here where it says Share Link, and copy. Do a Control-C or a Command-C if you're in a Mac. And then what you would do is you would go to and I don't know if I can do this here. I should have checked this out first. Let me see if I can go to Chapter 2C. I'm in Student View, so I'm hoping this will work. Okay, so then when you go to submit the assignment, what I should have up here is I should have a place where you can paste a URL, which is what you just copied, and then you'll submit the assignment. So you'll look for the URL tab, and then paste it in there, and then click on Submit Assignment. Now if I don't have the URL tab, you can either email me and ask me to send you or you can ask me to set up the URL tab, or you can just copy and paste your document. You can just go over here and you can select it all and do a copy, and then paste it into a document of your choice, and then save it as a PDF and send it. Now I would prefer you to do a URL because that way when I click on that, it will take me right to this document. So here's what happens. It's kind of weird, but if you, let's see if I well, let's see if I pasted that. Okay, so there you see how it says Royal Blue Import Bucket. Okay, so that makes it, somehow that's going to make it work. And so there it is. It's showing up. I don't know why it's doing that. Alright, so there it is right here. And so now watch this though. Now I'm going to close this, and let's say I close this, which is where I worked, so, or where you work, let's say on your computer, and you close it and you leave it. It says changes may not be saved. Alright, so then if I go over here And so you would think, okay, well, if I do that same URL, then nothing's going to be there. So let's paste that in there. But you'll notice that it's still there. It's the same thing that was there earlier. And so even though you don't necessarily save it yourself, you don't have to worry about saving it. You just, I would suggest that you save your URLs, and so you can always go back if you need it. So anyways, so that's the idea there. Okay, and now another thing is that sometimes I provide a document, a Java document, that you are to download and open up in JGraph. Okay, so let's say you don't have JGraph. Well, what I should have is I should have a text file. So I'm going to say this right here, test file for Replit. I should have a test file, or a text file that you can open up, and but you'll need to download it. So you would actually need to click on this link again, and then you would open it up. And then when you open it up, then you will want to copy, and I should make a note here, is copy only the code in the main method body. Alright, so now I kind of left it out because I was just testing this, but I shouldn't have. I probably should have put everything in there. But you're going to have, I'm going to have you download a file. Maybe you're going to have public static, no, it's not static, public class blah blah blah, and then it'll have this curly brace here, and it'll have public static and the main method header, and then it'll have the opening brace for that. And so what you'll want to do is to make sure to only select the code that's inside the body of the main method, okay, in between its two curly braces. So let's assume I got a curly brace over here, and so you would only select the stuff between the curly braces. So you would copy that, and then when you go over here to the Replit online compiler, then what will happen is, of course, it's going to say main in here, which we don't, again, remember, we don't want to lose that. So you would go ahead and do your curly braces, and then you would select this line of code right here and then paste. So copy, or not copy, but paste. And so we would paste inside here what it was on that text document. Now you may need to clean this up a little bit, and so in this case, even though the indent is back, well, I'm just going to go ahead and hit tab, and then these will all line up, and that's good enough. Alright, and so then here you've got your code that I gave you, and now you can work with it and do what you need to do. Anyways, so I think that's pretty much it. You just have to remember that you would put the class header, our normal class header, in below class main, and just do public class, and then whatever the name is, and then you would go like that, and then just so I can see what the name of the file is supposed to be, but we can't change main. We got to leave that just like that for when we compile it and so forth. Alright, that should do it.